All right, welcome back to Vegas Unwrapped. The crew is here, and then some. Speaking of crew, we should have pulled up the Love Boat theme song. That would have been appropriate for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see if you can find it. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour break. We'll do the Love Boat.
That's good. Why don't we let the audience know what we're going to do?
Well, they'll forget in 10 minutes. We'll play the song, and
Play the Battlestar Galactica theme.
when he comes on, so we'll get it all pulled up. All right, joining us at the microphone now is the event coordinator for the Comic-Con at Sea event coming up in June, Ms. Pat Stissi. How are you, Pat?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Given that first segment, she hasn't run out of the studio scared after what we did that first segment. And her right-hand person and friend, Miss Isabel, how are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine.
Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped, ladies. How you doing?
Thank you.
All right, so Pat.
They're French.
Yes, they are.
Oh,
Oui,
no.
oui.
I
Do you
believe-
want to speak a little French to our listeners out there?
No, don't.
Bonsoir.
Why not?
Then
That's
John,
like kryptonite.
I was going to say, then John can listen to this in the dark. But anyway, we do have listeners in Montreal. I will tell you that much. So,
Yes,
you know,
and we have a beautiful voice. So.
yeah, I know you do. I remember the first time you came on, you were nervous about that, but I told you a woman with an accent will melt anybody away, right? Am I right, guys?
No
Seriously.
question about it.
So you guys are good. All right, June 14th, right? That's the date?
Yes, it is.
June 14th to the 21st is an event you're putting together called Comic-Con at Sea 2015. June 14th through the 21st. You got a slew of people that is, you're going to be on the sea for 7-8 days in Europe. You're doing a whole European cruise. Give the basis of what the cruise is about, if you would.
Well, what we really wanted is for any fans of a TV show to have an experience that's a little different than what the convention circuit is. And a lot of them were telling us that they just don't have time to visit the city. When they come on convention, it's real work. We are there, all of us are there from 7 o'clock in the morning waiting in line, etc., until late at night. And here we were thinking about we don't have enough opportunities coming from the United States to go and enjoy Europe and in the safe environment. That means having show excursions organized for you, not having to deal with customs, etc., etc. So why not mix the two and have a wonderful cruise done by Royal Caribbean on the second largest ship on the world, the best actually, honestly, Allure of the Sea, and at the same time have a wonderful fan convention.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I've done Royal Caribbean before, and I agree with you. It is absolutely the best cruise line out there by far.
It's very impressive. People are afraid of the water, and they're thinking that the rolling is going to be too much. And Isabel, what do you think? You've cruised a lot.
You feel nothing. You feel
Yes.
absolutely nothing.
That's because the Valium kicks in.
Yeah, there you go. And the vodka. And then
And the
you're good.
vodka. Exactly.
That's an interesting mix. You probably missed 5 out of the 7 days.
No, but honestly, the technology right now is incredible. This anti-rolling system is just
Yeah.
impressive.
Well, and the other thing that we thought would be good is that when we go on conventions, people always have to worry, what am I going to eat? Am I going to miss a workshop if I go eat? Especially if you go out of town, you don't know where to go. So that way, everybody's taken care of. They can eat when they want, where they want, how they want, for free. So we thought that was really the best option.
It is an absolute adventure on Royal Caribbean as far as eating is concerned, because you do have the 3 meals for sure. They still do the midnight buffet, which is beyond belief. It's like, places advertise 4th meal, not like this. This is an amazing thing. And then if you want to snack during the day, it's almost like they have concessions that are open, and you just go, you want a burger, you want a shake, anything like that, and you just go get it.
So suffice it to say, a cruise is not the right time to do a flush or a cleanse.
No, you have to know, if you're going to be on a 7-day cruise, you're going to add 5 to 10 pounds.
Easily, right?
Yeah.
Day.
So what's going to make this cruise so unique? What do you have planned? What if somebody plans and saves for a cruise once a year? Why should they go on Comic-Con at sea?
Well, to be honest, we've really been able to work with Royal Caribbean into adding not only all the activities and the entertainment than Royal gives you, but every evening to have our convention. So you really get two for the price of one in a way. You visit Europe during the day. You have a short excursions in every port of call, and we have 6 or 7 ports of call.
Yeah, at least.
And then at night, from 5 o'clock at night until the end of the evening, you actually are doing a convention, and what we have planned for these guys are just going to be incredible.
Okay.
Great entertainment, I imagine.
We have concerts planned. We have CD releases planned, and then not only that, but we have cocktail parties with the stars. We have meet and greet with the stars. We have workshops. We have
The discussion panels.
discussion panels.
And those, there's 2 different types. We have both the individual discussion panels where you get to talk with one of the actors, and then we have a group one. So, for example, we'll get Battlestar Galactica, and Rick Worthy, Tamu Penniket from the new ones, and Richard Hatch, of course, from the original and the new ones will, for example, sit together and discuss about what that experience feels like. So it's really, you get much more than
Nice.
what you think.
And so when Vegas Unwrapped goes out there to do the videos and the interviews and stuff like that, you're going to get us to Barcelona, right? No problem, no charge, right?
I'll get you the
for
proof.
9 of us, or is it 10?
know why.
Or is it 10 now that I'm counting? I got to add the baby cat,
Yes,
You know?
baby shark.
Yeah.
Bobby Cat, Bobby Kitty.
Bobby Kitty.
So,
baby cat,
so the
Bobby
cruise originates out of Barcelona.
Yes, you have to fly all the way to Europe. So I know it's
Right.
difficult for some people, but honestly, nowadays it's not that big
Not
of a
if you
deal.
stop in New York for a couple of days.
And we are negotiating some special rates
Okay.
for our attendees with the airlines. So
Yeah.
that is going to be a great break as well.
And you could get all that information on their website at comicconatc.com. And about 3/4 of the way down, you'll see a nice red box that says airfares. There's group options out there with Air France and KLM, as well as you can give the group code to your travel agent if you prefer to book individually and still get the discount. So check it out. And from what I saw here on the website, all that somebody has to do is reserve for $400 per person as a deposit, right?
Yes, it's actually very easy. It's just because we need to give something to Royal Caribbean to let them know we have a stateroom ready for you.
Right.
But once you've paid that, we have an installment plan. So it's, we're trying to get the payments to less than $500 a month to make sure that you can go in and enjoy the trip without too much of a strain on the family budget. but in all honesty, it's not that bad. Oftentimes when we go to convention, we pay the convention separately.
Right.
And then we have to deal on finding the hotel,
Right.
parking, and all these other fees. In this case, everything is taken care of at once. You absolutely have nothing else to
I hear
think
it's unbelievable flying from the U.S. to Europe in one of the, like an Air France or KLM. Hey, as long as you're not flying German wings, I'm there.
Shot another group.
There you go. You can send your email comments to Vegas Unwrapped
Cash at gmail.com. You want to join the fan club? Do that too.
That too, exactly.
Pens, t-shirts, and all.
That's right. Now, if you go onto the website, you click on the guest tab at the top. I mean, you got everybody from James Marsters, Drew Roy, Elena Hoffman, Steve Cart, Richard Hatch, you mentioned before. Of course, we'll be hearing from him in about 5 minutes. Who else is coming on? Robert Hall. I mean, you got a whole slew of people that are going to be part of this cruise.
Yes, we have both professionals and actors from genre TV, or how do you say? Yes, sci-fi TV, etc. And these are people that the fans know well and appreciate. And the pros behind the professionals are just, you may not know their name, but the things they've done, they're incredible.
And we have a lot of up-and-coming people, directors that are being touted as being the genius of their generation, and
Right.
all those people. So you may not know their name now,
Right, but you
you
will
will
in the
know their
future.
name.
Okay, very good.
Caller about questions on the cruise.
Okay, caller, thank you for calling Vegas Unwrapped. What can we answer for you?
Well, actually, it's kind of a double-sided thing. I noticed by looking at the cruise layout and what is on the website that there's easy access and like plenty of space. I was wondering, is it pretty like, accessible even if you're saying like a hover round or kind of immobile like that, so that you don't have to stress out so much about getting around?
Well, the boat is large, yet actually quite small.
You have to catch the trolley from one end of the boat to the other's a taxi.
So mostly, yes, you have an elevators on both sides, and honestly, it's about always 5 to 6 minutes to your room. It cannot be more than 10 minutes away from elsewhere, whatever elsewhere is. So you will have access to everything is very centralized. So
we were actually just at a Comic-Con, and I'm one of those people that doesn't have very much mobility, so it wasn't an option actually to go back to the hotel unless you were done for the day, or by the time you got back and then went back, you're talking half hour one way. And it says here that your meals are included, like, so snacks or everything. You don't have to pay, $20 for a hot dog and
all inclusive,
including the alcohol.
Inclusive.
So if you're less than 21, well, yeah, the worst part of it is that
unfortunately,
in Europe, you have to be 18 to drink.
No,
so for those Americans that are 19 years old and can have a drink here, well, you can enjoy yourself in Europe.
And on that international water, you have to be 5.
And then I had a basically a compliment, I guess. There's so many people that don't know about the cruise, and I've noticed that there's been like a lot more activity on the computer. So I was really kind of happy about that, because I was getting kind of nervous thinking I was like the only one.
Well, you and Richard Hatch alone would have had a great cruise together.
Oh, is Richard there?
No, he's not here yet. No, he'll be on the phone momentarily.
Well, I was going to say, because he owes me a Battlestar Galactica coat picture.
Wow.
And a dance.
Wow.
Get it from him on the cruise.
Also offered skate, so
okay.
Yeah, he I'll have to call back when he's in. I can ask some fighter.
There you go. Thank you.
I've been a pretty big fan of his for a long time. And that was the other question. So basically, I can I can get around where I want, and everything's paid for. I don't have to deal basically with any of the other normal Comic-Cons. You have to pay for your you have to pay for the photo op, then you stand in line. Then you kind of get the photo, you stand in line for the signature, then you go stand in another line if you want, your some of the places will actually put them in sleeves.
Okay.
Let
us answer quickly. You can have, for the people that feel like it, you can actually have scooters and wheelchair provided by Royal Caribbean on board, and you will be helped in and out for all the shore excursions if you need it. As well, none of the activities are concurrent. So you're not going to be missing one thing because you're in line for another thing. Okay, so you can take care of all. So don't worry. Honestly, we'll take care of you at every step of the way. And if you want, thank you for noticing the activities on Facebook and Twitter. We'll talk a little more about this.
All right, thank you, caller, thank you, caller, for checking in. If you have any other questions, I'm sure through the website you can contact them. Have any other questions answered that you have?
Can I call back in 10 minutes so I can talk to some fighter?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now we have another call on behind you, so let me get to that call. When we have him on, if you want to call back in, then we'll have you call back in, okay?
Okay,
thank you, caller.
And all right. Thanks to whoever answered my question.
That was Pat. That was the main person herself.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I just want to do a quick reset. You're listening to Vegas Unwrapped here on VegasAllNetRadio.com. I'm letting our sponsors know we're going through to the next segment. We're not going to take a break at this point, because joining us now on the line, we're honored to have him with us here as part of our conversation tonight regarding the cruise. Actor, Comic-Con C participant, Battlestar Galactica alumni. We have his theme song playing. Please welcome to Vegas Unwrapped, Mr. Richard Hatch. How are you, Mr. Hatch?
I'm great. Great to be here.
I'm Aaron Phillips.
Music.
I'm Aaron Phillips. My partner Ricky Cash is here, and of course Pat and Isabel are here. We thank you for taking a few minutes with us to talk about the cruise.
No worries. I'm all up for it. It's going to be, I think, probably one of the most exciting. I've done several cruises around the Caribbean. I've hosted them. This is probably, I think, the most ambitious cruise I've ever been part of. I mean, this European cruise has wonderful locations. It's got some incredible guests. They're going to do some incredible panels about the industry, the entertainment industry, how they make movies. Plus, they get to obviously hang out with all these various guests from all these wonderful shows. So it's going to be, and it's on one of the most amazing boats, probably in the fleet. So I'm really excited. This should be a lot of fun.
This is Ricky, Richard. Actually, I'm Richard, so Ricky and Richard. But I have to ask you one question regarding Battlestar, and only because I was such a fan. You are absolutely the best character on the first show. All right, Starbuck, the whole thing. How did you become such a bad guy in the second show?
It's a song by a group.
Well, I mean, that's a long conversation, except that, see, I don't look at Tom Zarek as a bad guy. I look at Tom Zarek is the one through history that is always, as they say, history is written by the winner. Braveheart, William Wallace was the bad guy, according to English history. He challenged the government that was trying to suppress and basically, dominate Scotland. And the same thing went for me. I was fighting for democracy, for building consensus. And the government, after a post-apocalyptic, obviously we know about war with the Cylons, became a dictatorship. They didn't allow free elections. They rigged elections, and they didn't allow people to make up their own minds on very important decisions. So, my character, of course, was relegated to look like the bad guy, according to Adama and Rosalind. But, Adama's son was the first one that said, even at the last show when they basically arrested me, he goes, if you get past arrogance, Zarek is right.
I love it. I love every second of it. I wish I could have recorded that.
Yeah. By the way, the Ron Moore told the writers to always put the truth in Zarek's mouth. And whether you wanted to hear it or not, I always was telling it like it is, but, people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear it the way that they feel comfortable. And, of course, as we know, governments, whether they're left or right, in post-apocalyptic times, they become dictatorial. People turn over their power, and then governments take on too much power. And unfortunately, we've seen it happen over and over again. We got to see it on Battlestar Galactica. But anyway, that's a longer discussion. But I never saw him as a bad guy. I never played him as a bad guy. I love Tom Zarek, one of my favorite all-time characters.
Richard, because my partner asked you a question totally unrelated to the cruise, I want you to know that he's now fired and will be looking for a new job after the show is over. So actually, Richard,
I'm going with him because.
By the way, they can ask me all those questions in detail on the cruise.
There you go. Exactly.
Or we can have you back on Vegas Unwrapped.
That's true.
For a whole half-hour segment.
I would love to have you back on as a guest and we could talk about all that. But let me ask you a question about the cruise. What do you enjoy about the cruise and the interaction with the people? Why is it so much fun for you?
Well, you have to understand, I don't know how many actors. It's become kind of a big thing. Race car drivers, rock and roll stars, they're hosting cruises. I've hosted several cruises myself, including going to Alaska. It's an amazing experience to be on a boat for 7 days, have fans from all over the world and all over the country come join you. You get to hang out 24/7. You get to go on excursions. You get to hang out. I do my panels, seminars, but I hang out. We get to hang out, have a good time, get to know each other, and they get to kind of experience, I think, to see a celebrity as they really are. And I have no problem doing that. I love people. I teach seminars all over the country. I love interacting with people. I love, getting to know people. I'm one of the few people I know that I would read everybody's history because I'm fascinated by what makes people tick. Why are they the way they are? What kind of work do they do? So I love getting to know people all over the country, and that's what I get to do on a cruise. Obviously, when they come to a convention, most of the time, you get 5 minutes. You know, they smile, they say hello, you hug them, you sign a picture, and that's it. On a cruise, you really get to know people and get to hang out and kind of get some of that, what I want to call downtime, get realistic, real grounded time with people that you admire. So this cruise, obviously, for me, is, I was thinking about a European cruise hosting myself, and then when Pat put this together with some really wonderful actors and entertainment production people, about it's not only a sci-fi convention, it's really an entertainment convention about how movies are made. And when she put this together and asked me to be part of it, I was really excited. I thought, wow, and not only are we going to Europe, but we're on probably the best boat in the fleet. We're going to amazing destinations, and we get to do panels on all kinds of, for me, my passion. I mean, I love filmmaking, television, acting, the world of art, and people get to see a glimpse into how we do it, how we make these movies, why we do it. I think it's going to be a really insightful, really entertaining journey, plus all the wonderful things you can do on a boat. I mean, on this ship, my God, you can zip line, you can surf, you can ice skate, and that's just on the ship. You got like 18 restaurants. I mean, there's nothing you can't do on this ship, even if you had no destination.
The price of admission.
Wonderful destinations thrown in.
The price of admission for me alone. The price of admission for me alone would be to see my partner zip line. That would be the
zip line. But I got to tell you, zip lining, I can't imagine doing it at the top of this ship. I mean, that's got to be a little scary. And
while it's moving, no less.
Yes, it is moving.
But I'm going to do it. So say we all.
So say you all.
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the things that I like here, Mr. Cash, is that you have to be a personable individual to be in a scenario like this. And obviously, having never met Richard Hatch in person, just listening to him and his desire to want to interact with the guests on the cruise, he's not your typical star that says, okay, stay away from me, I'm special.
No doubt about it.
So, Richard, I tip my cap to you because you sound like an extraordinary individual that cares about the people around, and you want to interact and get to know people. And I think that's what's going to make this event special, because the list of guests that are there all have to be the same way. They all have to be open to wanting to interact with the guests on the cruise.
Well, we'll get you on YouTube, and you'll look up Battlestar Galactica,
I know,
and you'll be able to see him. No, you'll be able to see
I
him.
watched the show, but I'm not going to talk about Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, but you said
I got Pat here. When we do the show with him, geez, you're fired.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh. Richard, have you ever done radio before?
I had a radio show. Actually.
You do?
I did on the cable radio network. Imperial Palace was the advertiser, and came on at 12 at midnight. And it was all about relationships. You said, she said. I did it with this wonderful, wonderful lady. And I did it for about a year and a half. We had guests from every area of life come on the show and talk about love, talk about what gets in the way of relationships. And by the way, I'm a writer, I'm a director, I'm a teacher. I lecture at colleges and universities. I travel the country. I got to tell you, I love, whether it's a movie I'm in, producing, directing, I love to impact people, entertain them, and impact them, and maybe open their hearts, their minds, look at the larger picture, inspire them, because too many people feel lost in this world, are depressed in this world. So I love kind of helping people, and I do it one-on-one. I do life coaching. I do groups. I do all of this. Plus, I'm acting in a number of productions right now, plus this X-Nar thing, which is going to be the most groundbreaking indie Trek film ever made. There's so many things I'm involved in, but I love, like I said, interacting with people. It's one of my passions. I love to see people kind of open up and realize the possibilities of life.
Well, Richard, here's I know your experience and it's well-rounded, but starting next Thursday night, I'm going to have an opening for a radio co-host. So I'm going to be looking for new talent to join me. So I just wanted to know if you might be available on Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m.
Well, I wonder how he could fire me when I'm a third owner.
Oh, you're firing your partner there?
I'm firing my partner, yes.
I only know him 18 years.
Richard, thank you for taking time with us, and we greatly appreciate it. Comic-Con at the Sea, Get on that cruise, get on it, talk with Richard. You're going to have 7 days to talk Battlestar Galactica and anything that you want with him while you're in Europe on the water. Thank you again, and I do want to get in touch with you. We'd love to have you come back as a guest on Vegas Unwrapped and talk
Does he have
anything about my partner wants to talk
Do you
about.
have, Richard, do you have a
I love that.
Facebook
I'm
page?
all up for it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Richard. Have a great night.
See you on the cruise, guys.
You bet.
Don't stay with all. All right, bye.
Richard Hatch, great actor, great guy. I mean, that was fun, and we can get in touch with him through Pat.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
We are waiting for one more caller, but it looks like we may be running out of time if Mr. Leary does or doesn't call in. We're kind of right up against it. So that was great. I mean, you know what? You've got to be accessible. You've got to be an accessible star to allow yourself to be on a cruise to interact with these people.
Of course.
You got no place to go. They're overboard. You know, I think that's great. I think that's great.
They have casinos on the ship,
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Casino. They have. I mean, it's a floating city. That's really what cruise ships are.
But
Comic-Con comiconatSea.com is the website. Mark your deposit now, $400 per person. What else is going on the cruise before we wrap up?
Well, just to let you know, we have, of course, everything that the standard convention has, but we also have screenings of movies, independent movies, movies geared toward geeks, because we actually associated ourselves with Geek Fest Film Festival, and they are going to provide us some really awesome nerd movies that everybody wants to see. We have this series of concerts with Steve Carlson, Ghost of the Robot, who's also singing with Lulu White, and we have something very unique. We have a jam session in which these three very different artists are going to actually be jamming together for our benefit. It's incredible.
It sounds great. Isabella, you going to be on the cruise?
you bet I am.
Oh, I'm there. I'm so there.
All right, we're now. What's the best way if people have questions regarding the cruise after the interview? Is it to get you through the website? Is that the best way, or?
Yeah.
The website, Facebook, and Twitter. We actually can answer. We prefer Facebook because it's much
Quicker?
You have more time to ask questions than
Okay.
Twitter.
Yeah, that's true.
40 character is very
That's
hard.
very true.
And it goes too fast.
Okay. Okay, so we're good. All right, so Bobcat's taking care of stuff behind the board. All right, listen, we appreciate it. Guys, check it out. If you missed any information, please go to Facebook, Comic-Con at Sea. Please go to the website for further information. Also, to tonight's interview with Pat and Richard Hatch is going to be up on YouTube. We'll have that edited for you as well.
You're
So-
going to take me out of it.
Man overboard! Ricky Cash overboard. All right, so are they clear? Board is cleared there,
Well,
Mr.
it's cleared, but I'm having a problem. Let's get to break.
All right, we don't have any guests on the line hanging.
No, we do not.
Okay.
No.
Pat and Isabel, thank you so much for coming on. We had a great time.
You're very
I
welcome.
want an after cruise visit to see how things went with you
And share the pictures.
and share the pic. Well, I expect them on Facebook, so I know
And they will
Cash.
be, yeah.
I know Cash wants the bikini picture, so I mean I might as well just say it as is. Pat and Isabel are still here. He has a video camera. All right.
I have to get these ladies both
Tell them the real
Facebook.
reason. I'm going to right now.
No,
so
no, the real
can be
reason.
what?
We could be
Oh,
friends.
jeez. All right, during the break while we were taking pictures, we were waiting for another caller to call in, and now we have him on the line, Mr. James Leary, whose television credits include a 2-year stint as Clem, the loose-skinned demon on the critically acclaimed hit Buffy the Vampire Slayer, starring Sarah Michelle Gellar. Joining us on the phone, who will also be joining everybody on the cruise, Mr. James Leary. James, how are you, sir? Welcome to Vegas Unwrapped.
Thank you very much, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your schedule to join us tonight. So is this
Absolutely.
is this your first cruise you're participating in? Tell us about your cruising experience.
It is. This will be my third cruise. My second that is, sort of involved in some type of Comic-Con. I did a specific Buffy Whedon cruise way back in 2005.
Okay.
And
Cool.
before that, I just did a regular cruise all on my own before I had done any TV shows as a normal person. Back in like 1998.
He fit in good with this group.
Absolutely.
So nobody recognized you on that first cruise, so it was probably a pretty good time for you.
You know what? Nobody recognized me on the second cruise either.
Oh, my God. Well, they will this time.
That's right. That's right.
So what?
No, hey, look, it doesn't suck going someplace where people think you're awesome.
There you go. There you go. So what drew your attention to this cruise that said, I want to be part of Pat's cruise?
Well, part of it was the amazing destinations. I've never done a cruise of the Mediterranean, and I've been to London and Paris and Ireland, but I've never been to any of those cities, and that was amazing. And then I actually got to talk with Pat on the phone, and I was like, this is a wonderful, lovely lady. I would love to be a part of this. There
you go. Well, we feel the same way, except she's paying for our cruise, though.
Well, wonderful.
She just passed out.
Yes, I Good, Mr. Cash.
Well, it's exciting to just intermingle, I guess would be the best term, or mingle with, people in the industry, but, a little bit more broad than that. Tell us what you're looking forward to as far as meeting some of the other people.
Well, I've met a good deal of them before, but there's a lot of new people on this cruise that I haven't met. And here's the thing. Not only was I lucky enough to be a part of a sort of a cult hit show, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Battlestar Galactica, both the old and the new. A huge fan of Bitten and, just lots of other things. I'm a big sci-fi comic book nerd, so it's always fun for me to get to go to these things and meet people who I think are cool. I kind of geek out on people when I'm there, so I try not to nerd boy as much as everyone else.
Try not to nerd boy. I've never heard that. I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Cash nerd boyed out with Richard Hatch before, so
right.
It was a mess. It was terrible.
I just lost it.
We had to hide the women and children around there, so it was nasty. So to someone to someone who may be on the teetering brink of deciding to go on this cruise or not, what would you tell those people to have them join you guys on the cruise?
I would say, unlike the other cruise that I was a part of, there's going to be where there was interaction with the fans. We did, cocktail parties and all that kind of standard stuff. But this cruise is really going to have a lot of activities really tailored towards involving the guests in the stuff that we do. I know. Richard's going to be teaching an acting class. I may be doing an improv class or a screenwriting class. So there's going to be things that are very much about the industry that we can maybe help teach some other people that is going to be very inclusive for those coming on board. It's almost like, film or acting school on sea.
Gotcha.
That's great.
So what's it like to voice a character by the name of Frogfather?
And it's very cool. It's awesome, as a matter of fact.
Oh, there you
go. I get to do another Marlon Brando, but I look like a really big frog.
There you go, the Frogfather.
So,
I like that.
You're a Frogfather. He's good.
Well, if you ever need some other voice actors, Cash and I are always available.
Absolutely. You know what? We always need voice actors.
All right. Let us know, man. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Pat, you want to say hi to your cruise guest?
Oh, yes. Thanks so much, James, for calling. It's such a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure. Sorry I was running late. I had to go make sure my doors were
No,
locked.
don't worry.
Did you say your doors had to be locked? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, exactly. Sketchy neighborhood.
Where are you, in Las Vegas? No, only kidding.
Yeah, right.
Well,
I actually live in Austin, Texas now. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I lock my doors too.
Oh, Great. I'm sure we're living a great impression with James tonight.
Another group.
I would expect nothing less.
He just insulted another group. He just insulted a state. Are you kidding me? All right, James, we're up against the top of the hour break. We thank you so much for checking in. Yes. ComicCon@sea.com. Check it out. Go get your what? How did he call it? A actors workshop on sea, right?
That's great.
That's right.
I love it.
Come join us.
All right, thank you, James. We appreciate some time, man.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. Bye-bye.
James Leary following Richard Hatch.
I'll tell you.
I have to say, in this first hour, we've been on the air 6 years and a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
We've had more phone activity tonight than we have in almost 6 years.
Bobcat, it looks like he's...
I know, he was typing over there. What he was doing over there.
That's great.
I know.